Thank you, Your Excellency, for that important overview of the macro and policy importance that is tech talent, and specifically the future of tech talent in a world where it is becoming increasingly competitive, especially in areas such as AI, where there is just so much demand for the best and the brightest all over the globe. So with that backdrop and that context, we're going to move now to listen to a fantastic set of panelists on how supporting, building, attracting, and retaining the best of tech talent can happen in practice and with partnerships. You can see here our lineup of guests. So let's now welcome to the stage, first our moderator, Natalia, Sycheva, Managing Director of Integra 7. And also welcome the rest of our panelists to the stage. Amit, Veer, founder and CEO of Coffee, Coffee with an E. Fatema Afeefi, Head of Employee Experience and HR Digitalization at Do. And Artem Gladkikh, CEO of Signum.AI.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this highly anticipated session dedicated to the official launch of the UAE Future Tech Talent. We've just had the privilege of hearing from His Excellency Juma, who reaffirmed the UAE unwavering commitment to build the country as the global innovation hub and the hub for the talent development. For over 2 years, we at Integra 7 have worked with the Ministry of Economy, alongside with our invaluable partners, including Do and Fragaman, to bring these reports to life. This year report, it provides us with opportunity to trace the UAE relentless progress on as one of the world's best destinations for the technology talent. But even more importantly, we identify the challenges that technology talent, corporate technology giants, and startups and entrepreneurs like yourself are facing when scaling tech businesses from the UAE. In today's session, we will dive deep into these insights and co-create some of the strategies crucial for entrepreneurs not only attract, but retain the top-tier talent as you grow your business from the UAE. I'm honored to have such an incredible panel of speakers. And without further ado, and ladies first, Fatema. In our research this year, we actually utilized AI research tools that allowed us to scan over 50,000 companies across the UAE and Saudi Arabia. And clearly that Do consistently stood out as a company not only for attracting, but retaining technology talent. Looking into the future, how does your company Do plan to stay ahead of the curve in retaining the best talent, given the unique qualities and expectations of the young generation?
Thank you, Natalia. That's a great question, one that we're constantly challenged by at Do. The competition for digital talent in both telc and non-telc industries is really fierce. Being attractive is no longer about competitive pay. Companies now have to find ways to become very interesting from having the right work environments, the right policies, the right flexibility. The new generation told us that they're very interested in seeking purpose. They want to make personal impact. They're looking at ways for them to grow. And they don't like anything that's dull, routine, or repetitive. So how do you address that? Constant revision of policies. It's very important that we're relevant. It's important that we're attractive and that we give enough flexibility. Hybrid work has been a very big hit, not just in this industry globally, as well as at Do. We're seeing a lot of interest in skilling, upskilling, and it's not about interest. It's critical that we continue to give the right tools to our talents so that they feel engaged and equipped for them to lead the future.
Thank you, Fatima. Well, I think to add into your perspective, also according to our study this year, up to 28% of the companies in the UAE are considering introducing the equity stock options for their employees in order to stimulate the retention of the talent. Now, moving to Artem. Well, I must first point that the AI-enabled tools that we use this year for the research were kindly provided by Signum.AI, which speaks to the power of AI in the business insight. According to our study, there is a 90% increase in the adoption of AI tools and technologies in the recruitment since 2022. So, Artem, question to you. How do you see AI reshaping the way companies retain and hire and retain the talent?
First of all, thank you so much for the invitation. I really appreciate it. And you know, in the past, HR managers mostly relied their own judgment to prevent some risks. But today they have a lot of data. And if you have a lot of data, you can make better prediction and you can solve the problem before they come. And for example, in Signum.AI, we can help you to prevent employee turnover by tracking different buyer just behavior and data, just to help you to understand the red flags, etc., etc. And I see there are a lot of companies try to implement AI solution inside of their business. But of course, it's mostly about the big companies. And I'm happy to see that everyone see the value from the AI right now. It's not about like, previously 5 years ago when you just talking about, okay, we have AI, but it looks like not AI, like just typical program. But today I see it's like ChatGPT, a lot of different models, and I see the value. That's why I'm so happy about it.
Thank you, Artem. So, well, moving to Amit. Let's discuss offshoring model, a strategy that we refer as hub and node model in our report. When last year we conducted the Dubai focused report and study, 90% of tech startups in Dubai distribute their tech talent across 2 to 4 countries. This year, because in our study we look not only at startups, but we are looking at all employers in the UAE, including the largest corporate organizations. We identify that 83% of employers in the UAE rely on this hub and node model. So obviously, the model when you distribute the talent bears some risks. So, Amit, what are the typical risks and challenges that fast-growing companies, startups encounter when expand their tech capabilities and build the tech teams remotely?
Thank you, Natalia. Great question. So, of course, the challenges can be aplenty, right from discovering the right talent, assessing them to make sure that you are actually getting the right talent, ensuring that they have tech enablement as basic as getting a laptop or a security software, or payroll compliances, insurances, and employee engagement post-hiring. They all can pose big challenges for companies who decide to offshore their tech hiring requirements. But the good news is that they are easily solvable, right? There are players in the market like Coffee who can actually manage this whole thing end to end, ensuring that a large pipeline of pre-qualified talent is available for choosing. Making sure that their compliances post-hiring are adequately taken care of by becoming the employer of record, maintaining employee engagement post-hiring, ensuring all availability of IT infrastructure for the tech talent. All of these can be done by the right partnerships in some of the key markets. So yeah, these are some of the challenges and how to mitigate them.
Thank you, Amit. Fatima, back to you. Let's talk about Emiratization. Because according to our study, most of the companies in the UAE find it quite easy to comply with UAE labor law. However, the requirement for Emiratization still possess and bring some challenges to the companies. And according to our study, there has been 110% increase in mentions of Emiratization across social media, job portals, and forums. Could you please elaborate, Fatema, on the dues approach to Emiratization and how it perhaps different from other companies in the market?
Yes, very happy to. Emiratization has been very dear to Du's heart ever since its inception around 18 years ago. I know more recently there's been a strategic national agenda to focus on Emiratization, which is why you're seeing a lot of pressure across private and public sector, more so on the private sector. And you're also getting a bit of the sentiment that some companies just want to hire Emiratis to hit their targets. So then you start questioning the kind of experience Emiratis have with these organizations, and that's actually a very big challenge. I'm very proud to say that at DO, they've been very diligent and supportive of Emiratization from the start. We have very great examples of success stories internally of Emiratis. Our CEO today actually started as a chief HR officer back 18 years ago. They've invested in him. He has great potential. He became the chief commercial officer. He's proven himself, and he's been a very, very successful CEO to date. Our chief ICT officer has been appointed 2 years ago. He's also an Emirati who started off at DO as an engineer. That's the kind of investment DO places on Emiratis, supporting growth, training, development, challenging Emiratis. And that's the kind of quality we're looking to continue to strive towards. We've also launched a graduate trainee program, or relaunched it. It's called Future X. We're equipping all the graduates with all the digital learning and digital tools they require for the success. Tech sector is growing very, very quickly. I don't have to tell you this. I'm sure you all see it, know it, feel it. So we were faced with the pressure, how do we get our Emiratis equipped so that they can meet the business demands in the future? Because we don't want the problem of businesses telling us Emiratis can't do it or they don't have the tools. So we've invested heavily on a program that focuses on both tech and non-technical roles by actually giving them digital skills. We're calling them digital talent. They have rotations with our partners, with Huawei, with Cisco. Fantastic training program for 12 months, and they actually have to graduate with a success rate so that we are ensuring their continued success. A lot of it is really giving the right tools, the right support, the right opportunities to Emiratis for growth, and ensuring that we're treating Emiratis beyond just numbers.
Excellent. Thank you very much for sharing these experiences. So, Artem, we know that the UAE has moved quite significantly in the global rankings in terms of talent attractiveness. And you yourself, one of those tech talents who made a decision to relocate from the States to Abu Dhabi, from what we know. So could you please elaborate what was the appeal and what you find beneficial personally, professionally for you to be based in the UAE while running your tech, international tech business?
Yeah, I think this is a cool question. Because, you know, we have two offices, one office in New York City and one in Abu Dhabi, and I can compare it. And of course, my decision based on three main points. The first of all, it's all about market potential, because I see there are a lot of investors, there are a lot of cool startups, and I like it. Because, for example, in the United States, it looks like red ocean. You try to sell something, and you will see a lot of competitors. And if you are a startup company, you try to receive investment from the, I don't know, angel investors or VC funds, and you need to compare with a lot of companies. But here it's easy. The second one, it's all about the cost of living. I mean, for example, for money that I spent in Abu Dhabi, I can get the access to cool infrastructure. For example, if you want to work, you can do it on IDGM, and as well as you can spend your just vacation on Hadriyat, and I like it. And the last one, it's all about safety. For me, you know, I just can feel safe at all the day, and I like it because it's totally different. For example, if it's talking about San Francisco or the, you know, just New York City, it's totally different. This is my just three main points.
Thank you, Artem. Thank you very much. And before we go to Artem, I want to ask a question from the audience. In your opinion, if you look at the top most valuable and funded tech startups in Dubai and the UAE, how many founders have engineering degree and background? Percentage? Guess. 10? Any other guesses? 50? So actually you're close enough. Only 50% of the founders of the most successful UA-based tech companies have engineering or tech background, which means that it testifies that if you have a great idea and you are based in the UAE, there is a way for you to build your tech team and bring to life a great product. So, which brings me to another question to Amit. Amit, in our study, we identify that 90% of employees in the UAE says there is an abundance of talent. But at the same time, 95 of them are looking outside because they say there is no specialized top-tier talent. You, as a talent hub and platform, you have access to hundreds, thousands of talents. How do you approach to identify the best and the top talent?
Sure. Basically, the question is not building a large pipeline of talent, right? It's more about having a qualified supply of talent so that the founders and the professionals who are trying to hire them don't spend months sifting through people who are not even qualified or eligible and actually can be hired for the job really quickly. That's one. And second is capturing the intent, because obviously there's a lot of talent which is not even looking out. You can spend a lot of time and energy talking to those people, but ultimately they will not end up joining because they're not even open to changing their jobs right now. At Coffee, what we do is we have figured out a way to identify the top talent by building in-house capabilities of assessing the talent. It works in 3 steps, right? Number one, we attract a lot of talent by giving them a lot of engagement opportunities, giving them obviously access to global jobs, a lot of community initiatives, a lot of insights backed by AI which can help them further their careers. And once they're on the platform, we do 2 things. We assess them for their skills and we capture their intent of finding a job. All of this put together makes sure that when a recruiter or a founder comes onto the platform to identify the right talent, they have absolutely best talent with high intent awaiting them, right? This is the most important. Also, from our perspective, it's very important that when a company is trying to find the talent, if it's any more difficult than finding your most favorite shirt on Amazon or Noon, then we have failed at our jobs. That is the kind of experience that we try to provide to the recruiters and hirers on our platform.
I'm into that, to find the top tier talent with experience on Amazon and Noon, similar to that. Before I go to the last question that I would like to ask the panel, I would again revert to our audience. If audience have any questions to our panelists, please raise your hand and we have ushers with the mics around. No, it seems like, okay, one question. Can we get the mic? I think, yes, it's coming.
Very insightful conversation. A question to all of you. You know, there's a lot of volatility in the market right now. AI has really taken over and disrupted the marketplace. How do you all face current challenges? What is your roadmap to the future? And how are you connecting the bridge from the present to the future?
Wow, that's next year research, I think. But let's do really 30, 60-second 2 sentences, starting with Amit.
Okay,
Artem
I can
will
go first.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, thank you so much for this question. I really appreciate it. You know, if we're talking about the future of AI, I think maybe you know the Gartner cycle, right? And for me, I think that we are right now on top of it. I mean, you can see a lot of companies that try to understand how they want to spend this money to implement AI inside of the businesses. But at the same time, for example, if you try to use ChatGPT to create some kind of sequences for your email outreach, you will see that it's not good. I mean, it looks like a lot of water, a lot of mistakes, etc., etc. And for me, I think right now we're on the top of the stage because in the next 5 years, we will see the real value from the AI. As I mentioned before, you can implement AI just because it's like a hype. Okay, we can do it and we can spend money on it, and after that we will just put some information. We're an AI-based company. But in the future, I think we will see the real value. And for example, in automation, in data analysis and prediction, And I think we will see the big revolution in the next 5 years, but not on this time. At this time, it looks like only just like experiments, etc., etc.
Artem, thank you very much. So we are very tight on time. So, and I see that we're already getting the signs. So, Fatema, let me rephrase the question to you. Maybe it will be more valuable for the audience to hear. What advice to the CEOs you would give when it comes to attracting and retaining the top tech talent in your experience?
I think it's extremely important to listen to the market, to listen to the trends. You need a mind shift, a culture shift, and a lot of it really happens at the top, because if you don't have buy-in at the top, no matter what you do, you will not be able to, if you're able to attract, you probably won't be able to retain them if you maintain the same mindset of very traditional policies, ways of looking at talent, and not differentiating the needs of tech talent compared to other talent. And there's quite a difference in their needs. So that's one. The other one is really focusing on growth opportunities, and I'm not just talking about career growth, but really exposure, learning. It could be speaker opportunities or whatever their aspirations are. We need to listen and create career pathways that align to their aspirations. And finally, really just focus on creating an environment where talent simply don't want to leave you. And I think that's the trickiest one of them all.
Thank you, Fatema. So, Amit, 30 seconds.
Okay. First of all, like Fatima said, listen to the market. The talent today doesn't only need high salaries, they need flexibility of work hours, they want remote working, they want ESOPs for future wealth creation opportunities. Employer branding is also the key. I mean, and not for specific organizations, but UAs in general. I think they need to do a much better job of doing employer branding across markets which are talent hubs, so that more talent can be attracted to the market. Need to be open to offshoring and contracting, which basically gives you access to global talent and also builds in flexibility into your system of upscaling, downscaling, and choosing the right talent before you move them to onshore into the UAE. I think these are my top points, and I think I stuck to 30 seconds.
Yes, perfect. Thank you very much. Well, I hope everyone is as excited as I am about the launch of Future UAE Tech Talent report, and now you can download the report and access it on Integra7.com website, and we wish you a very pleasant rest of the show. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.